Before we get started, please go over to Amazon.com and grab a copy of my book, Education and Justice. If you have an African-American son in public school, you need this book because I teach you the many ways that public schools mistreat African-American boys and what you can do to help your son. So go over there and get your copy immediately. Now, when I saw that Trump had commuted the sentence of Larry Hoover, I thought that that was a good thing. I celebrated. I don't know a whole lot about Larry Hoover. I did some research about him a couple of years ago. That was the first time I ever heard of him. And, you know, the man has been in prison now, about 60 years, and many of those years, several decades of those years have been in solitary confinement. And listen, you all, I am a criminal defense lawyer. I represent people who've been accused of very bad crimes. I've been doing that going on 2 decades. And if any of my clients who were imprisoned received a pardon, obviously I'd be celebrating. So I celebrate also with his attorneys and with his family and with him. All right, so that is a good thing. And all the other folks who also got pardons. There's a young rapper, I don't know anything about him. And then there were people who had committed white collar crimes who he pardoned also. I celebrate with every one of those people to come out of that place, again, in Mr. Hoover's situation in solitary confinement, I think for about 3 decades. And then also, when you think about the criminal justice system and black men, we know black men don't get a fair shake in the criminal justice system. So I don't know the details. I don't know the specifics of what he was convicted on and so forth, but I know the system and how it treats us. And I know systemic racism and why a lot of black men end up in the system in the first place. So I celebrate, again, with Mr. Hoover and with his family, with his attorneys. And it's also reported that he has done some work to try to redirect the youth away from gangs. That is awesome. I heard one brother actually say that some of the things that Mr. Hoover has said about not joining gangs helped turn his life around. So it is awesome. I celebrate it. And again, for all the reasons that I just gave you. Now, that said, this is a strategy. This is a political strategy on Trump and MAGA's part. This is designed to cause African-American men particularly to say, now look, that Trump, he's something else. He's for us. He is for black people. He is for us. He's one of us. That's what this is designed to do. It's designed to distract people away from his policies. It is designed to cause people, black men in particular, to continue to vote for him at a certain rate. Now, we know most African-American men are not going to vote for Trump, and he realizes that. So all he wants is enough to either vote for him or not vote for his opponent. Now, this should be the last time that he runs. But of course, they have toyed with the ideal of him running again. And so if not him, they would try and get African-American men to just continue to vote for MAGA. Despite the fact that MAGA is extremely anti-black. We have seen it. The last 5 months should have shown every black person how anti-black racist MAGA is as an organization. I mean, he has released executive order after executive order after executive order to harm the African-American community specifically. And therefore, we can't get caught up in who he pardons. And we can celebrate about the pardon. We can be happy for that person and that person's family. But that should not change our opinion about the policies that Trump is implementing, again, that target us as African American people. And I mean target our schools, target our history, target our community. I mean, he just released an executive order that will militarize and unleash cops in our very communities. And our communities are being policed hard enough already, being targeted. And this is my field. I'm a criminal defense civil rights attorney. I know it does not go well for our community when we are over policed. So that goes against, or that begs the question, let me put it that way. What exactly is his true intent for issuing this pardon, for issuing this commutation? He knows, most likely, that Mr. Hoover will not be released unless his support system can also get the governor to pardon him in the state of Illinois, I believe. So what is his intent? Well, I told you already. It is to send the false message to African American men that that I'm for you, I'm one of you. Do you remember, in fact, when he got his mugshot, he said black men would love him because of his mugshot? Do you remember when he was going through the court system, he said black men would love him because he was going through the court system? In other words, he was basically saying black men are criminals, and therefore they will understand what it's like for him going through the court system. I mean, that was an insult, folks. That was not a compliment. But he knows, and Steve Bannon has said, that if they can continue to get black male votes, they can be in power for decades to come. Decades to come. And it is unfortunately working. 8% of black men supported Trump in 2016. 13% supported him in 2020. And a reported 21% supported him this past November in 2024. So it's working. Many in the hip hop community love him. As a matter of fact, he pardoned a rapper. I don't know anything about this rapper. I can't even remember his stage name. I won't even try to say it. But all of that feeds the narrative that Trump is supportive of the black community, which, when you look at his policies, is a total lie. But some folks don't care about those policies. They just connect with Trump because, yeah, Trump was a part of the criminal justice system, and he manipulates that. So when I saw that he pardoned these two guys, I said, oh my God, he is working that strategy. He is working that strategy to the bone so that they can continue to stay in power and continue to implement anti-black racist policies. You know, think about this. Trump has been in office twice. And he has only had 2 black people in his cabinet. And both of them served as the secretary of the agency that most often black people are assigned to. HUD. Ben Carson at first, and then this new guy, I can't call his name. That's it. Other administrations have had many more. Joe Biden had many, I think about 15 in his cabinet and in his White House office, so he had many. And then if you look at other white administrations, even GOP like Bush, they had blacks in their cabinet, more than one per term. What is that all about? But there's so much proof that Trump is absolutely not a friend of the African American community. And I could go down a litany of racist things that he has said allegedly or done. But if you're older than 25, you should know these things already. But let me just caution you not to get caught up in a pardon or commentation of a person and allow that to distract you from Trump's policies. Policies. That's what we got to look at. Policies. Again, I'm happy on an individual basis for Mr. Hoover and the rapper and the other folks as well. He also pardoned 2 former reality TV stars, the Christie family, I believe. And those folks are happy, their families are happy. I'm not taking away any of that. Not at all. I'd be elated too if it was, someone I love. But don't let that get you confused and distracted about what and who we're dealing with here. And besides, even if you think the world of Trump, you also got to consider the people who work around him. Many of them are pure, straight up white supremacists. Pure, straight up white supremacists who wouldn't have anything to do with you under any circumstances as an African American person. They despise our guts. Remember, these are the descendants of the Dixiecrats that once used to run the Democratic Party and were the folks who fought to keep us enslaved and in Jim Crow. These are the descendants of those people. And folks, it doesn't make any sense for us as African Americans to join forces with white supremacists. African American men? No, we don't need our men supporting a white supremacist movement. A lot of men, a lot of black men, understandably, have issues with the Democratic Party. I do too. I'm not a Democrat. I certainly have strong disagreements with the Democratic Party. But I also have very strong disagreements also with the Republican Party. So that's why I'm an independent. And the last Republican administrations that I have seen, both of the Trump administrations, have been extremely anti-black. Is Trump a likable person? Yes. Is he a charming person? Yes, absolutely. He's funny. He's charismatic. I mean, I get that on a personal level. When you talk about his personality, of course he is. But we can't look at personalities. We can't look at pardons. We can't look at commutations. We must look at policies. Policies. Tangibles. What tangible benefits has he even pledged to the African American community? None. Now we know in 2016 he did the First Step Act, and that has helped some people. And he took all the credit for it. When the truth of the matter is, it was a bipartisan effort that many in his administration, those people that I just told you about, tried to block, and some provisions of it wouldn't even enforce. Trump embraced it because he knew it was a politically shrewd move to make, like he did with other initiatives. You know, he took credit for HBCU funding, but what a lot of folks didn't realize is he was behind the scene trying not to give that funding. You've heard me say many times, Representative Alma Adams of North Carolina had to push him through what is called the Future Act or the Futures Act to keep that money, that $250 million in the budget so that HBCUs could get that funding. And by the way, the funding that the Biden-Harris administration gave to HBCUs causes what Trump did for HBCUs to be pale in comparison. Biden and Harris administration, billions of dollars compared to the, 250, 60, 70 million that Trump reportedly put in his budget. And Trump is reportedly cutting education dollars now so that he can use those spending cuts, obviously, to pass the bill that he's trying to get through Congress, is currently with the Senate. So when you put it all together, he really hasn't done a whole lot for HBCUs. First Step Act, as I said, okay, helped some people. But at the same time, it lacked a lot of substance. Not only if you really want to, even now that he's back in office, if he really wants to help the African American community in terms of the criminal justice system, do put forth a bill that truly, genuinely do things on the front side of the criminal justice system. By that I mean to try to keep African Americans from even becoming entangled with the criminal justice system in the first place. All right? Like dealing with the implicit bias that police officers have. Well, we know he's not going to do that because he said in this executive order he released about policing that cops shouldn't even be concerned about equity and diversity and that sort of thing. So folks, don't be hoodwinked, bamboozled, deceived, tricked into believing that because Trump pardoned or commutated the sentences of a few well-known African-American men, and again, bravo for them and their families, that makes them a friend of the African-American community. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't be that gullible. Come on. Don't be that vulnerable and juvenile and nonsensical and childish You don't you know better than that. You look at a person's body of work, the whole body, not just one instance or two or a couple of instances, um, and not look at the context. The context is what you need to pay very close attention to, and especially policies. Okay, so again, bravo for those that he has pardoned and who has received commutations of this sentencing, including Mr. Hoover, the rapper, the Christie family, and all the rest of them. But don't let that sway you and distract you from the fight that we're in right now as African Americans against the anti-Black racist Project 2025 agenda that we're dealing with right now. All right? I am Reverend Civil Rights Attorney Augustus Corbett. Thank you for watching this video, and as always, stay woke. Before we get...
My, that was powerful. Again, that was Reverend... was it Reverend Augustus Corbett, J.D. Esquire, and a civil rights attorney. All right, y'all, this is Late Night Live, the DCN Smoke, coming to you briefly on tonight. Had a busy week this week. It's what you call vacation, away from my real job. Been rolling, capturing history for the last couple of days. Since last week. Just want to run a couple things by you. Excuse me for yawning. A couple things by you. We got upcoming redistricting meetings. I was supposed to talk about that tonight, but I'm not prepared. I'm gonna have to come back to you, possibly tomorrow night or Saturday, and go over briefly the redistricting, Edgecombe County Schools redistricting. Got some information today from our chairperson. We got some upcoming meetings around the county at different high schools about the redistricting process. Got two maps, Map C and Map D2. But by being so late, I will, like I said again, I'll come back either tomorrow or Saturday to give you a briefing about it. And in the meantime, may be able to get chairperson of the redistricting committee to come on briefly. Also, you can join the redistricting committee if you are interested in the redistricting of Edgecombe County Public Schools. It is going to affect all precincts, all districts across Edgecombe County. So you ought to want to be involved in the process. Now, what I'm going to do now is, let me see, can I find some upcoming events over the next couple of days. But in the meantime, I had the opportunity to attend on yesterday, the opioid league over at the Rocky Mount Event Center with Delton. Let me get to flyers, then I can better give you information on what I'm trying to talk about. Uh, but you missed it on last night. They had a layout food over at the event center. So all you that didn't attend, you missed out on some powerful information and also some good food. Okay, uh, that was the opioid settlement at the Rocky Mountain Event Center on yesterday, 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and excuse me, had dealt. Yeah, the presenter was Delton Barrett. Um, you can go to my web pages, social media pages, and check it out. There will be another settlement forum on June the 3rd in Pine Tops at the Pine Top Library from 6 to 7, and then on June the 11th at the Common Auditorium in the Edgecombe County Administration Building from 6 to 7. Um, on this Sunday, we have the North Carolina Democratic Party will be traveling through Edgecombe County on a rural North Carolina listening tour. And it started out with three speakers, Anita Earls, Candace Smith, and Anderson Clayton. But today it has added two more speakers. Let me see. I gotta share the new flyer that I got on today. Let me see. The new flyer has added uh, Congressman Don Davis and North Carolina Representative Dante Pittman. The other two that was already on the tour to speak in Edgecombe on Sunday evening is Anita Earls, Supreme Court Justice, and Candace Smith, North Carolina Senator District 5, which covers Edgecombe County. Um, so there you have it. Congressman Don Davis, excuse me, y'all. Supreme Court Justice Anita Earls, Senator District 5, Candace Smith, and North Carolina Representative Dante Pittman are the elected officials, and our state Democratic Party chair, Anderson Clayton. Uh, so there you have it, 6 o'clock on Sunday evening. They say from 6 to 8 at the Cahin Auditorium on the campus of Edgecombe Community College, 2009 West Wilson Street in Tarboro. If you can find some energy, because I know Sunday is a church day, and then there are some evening programs. Uh, because I'll be going over to, I have church Sunday morning at 10 by Sunday school. Then service start at 11. And then I am going over to St. Matthew's in Dunbar. Okay, let me tell you where I'm going to be traveling from. My church is in Pitt County, at the Pitt County Edgecombe County line. And I'll be there at 10 o'clock in the morning for Sunday school. 11 o'clock service. We got communion. And then I'm going to head over to St. Matthew's in Edgecombe County in Dunbar, where they will be installing their new pastor. I think his name is Eddie Cherry, the brother of uh, the late Reverend Walter Cherry. Um, his brother will be installed as the pastor in Dunbar at St. Matthew's. and the Dr. Ricky Banks will bring the message. Uh, Love to hear Dr. Banks preach. So that's where I'll be at 3. That's uh, Dunbar over in Battleboro. Um, and then I'll be heading back to Tarboro to um, Edgecombe Community College when I get out of there. Like I said, that's at 3 o'clock. The listening to it start at 6. So got a busy day Sunday. I'll try to catch these 3 events. Uh, so there you have it. I don't want to give you too much information tonight. Just want to remind you of where I'll be attending on these events on Sunday. But there was a powerful message that you just heard from Reverend Augustus Corbett. Black men don't be fooled by those parties, so that um, 4734 will try to get us black men to either, like he say, vote for him if he was to run again, or the Republican that comes behind him. That's more like it. What the focus would be is those coming behind him, because more likely he would not be able to run again, and it appears that his health probably would not allow him to run again anyway, especially with his age. But so don't be fooled, black men. Not only black men but black women, because you can't excuse the partners for his political power and his political agenda and policies. Uh, Again, like I said, I'm going to come back later and talk about the redistricting process in Edgecombe County with our school board. And also, I want to say Monday, the Edgecombe County Commissioners will be meeting about the budget, and you need to be there. Um, I'm going to specifically support Edgecombe County Sheriff Office. I'm hoping that they will be getting an increase. I didn't get a chance to make it to the workshop budget meeting last week, so don't know exactly what came out of that. I was waiting to see if any other media was there to see what they had reported, but I haven't seen anything. So Monday night be a public hearing, so you need to come and uh, talk about the budget. Like I said today uh, at the senior event, um, that safety is number one, and we gotta make sure that our county is safe, and so we need to pay our county sheriff office. Uh, uh, um, we need to pay them so that they will stay, so we will not lose them to other counties that's paying more money. I know it ain't all about the money, but it takes the money to live. And they may go to those other places, but they will not have the type of relationship amongst the office led by Sheriff Clee Atkinson, who have come in and did a great job fight for the his officers and staff for more money, and he deserves more money as well. But he's fighting for his officers, his staff, but he need more money as well. Look at how much money these sheriffs are making in neighboring counties, and I know Edgecombe County. Uh, uh, um, we always talk about the money we have in Edgecombe County, but again, we need to make sure that we all feel safe. Um, Although those guys go above and beyond with what they're making, but they still need to be paid because some used to work part-time jobs before they got the increases that they have received. But again, cost of living has gone up, and we know it takes some money to live. And not only uh, they was working a part-time job, but think about they was taking them away from their family. So we need to keep them in mind. So Monday night, 6 o'clock, Edgecombe County Board of Commissioners meeting. Uh, be a public hearing on the budget. So I hope to see you there. Um, let's see, is there any other announcements that I need to make? Like I said, the opioid meeting is going to be Tuesday night in Pine Tops. But I don't want to put too much information out there right now. I got the announcements on my social media pages. So all you got to do is go there and see them, and I'll put them in this chat in the comments here uh, on this live. So you all you got to do is go to the link and see uh, what's coming up. Um, some events coming up next week and next Saturday. I definitely want to try to get some of those folks to come on next week to talk about um, the events coming up. We put this in the chat. I want to sign up time up to look at the news and see about the weather on tomorrow. I saw it at the 10 o'clock news that it looks like we're safe for tonight, but we might have some tough, might have some tough weather on tomorrow. So be aware. Okay. Well, I'm gonna shut it down. It's already about 10 to 11, but I hope you can use what I'm bringing to you tonight. Oh, let me before I shut down. I do want to say that I attended the uh, Edgecombe County Senior Awareness Day at Edgecombe Community College this morning, and it was a good event. End up recording that, so you can look at that. The sheriff spoke. It was interesting because when I got there, I didn't know what was on the agenda for the day, and I went in the office to speak with someone, and when I came out, uh, the sheriff was out there. So I got a chance to record him from my phone speaking, and then After then, I was ready to leave. I looked at a flyer and it had the time of the events, and so I left. And after I got down the road, I looked at the events lineup, and I saw what the event timing was. It was already around 12 then, and so I seen where the sheriff was supposed to speak at 1 o'clock, but he had spoken earlier because he had another engagement, um, and so um, Delton Barrett, that was doing the opioid presentation at Rocky Mountain last night, I seen he was going to be on the program, and I don't think uh, one of the um, event spokespersons, I guess you call it the moderator, uh, she gave her testimony, and that was powerful. I was glad to be able to capture that on video, and I'm quite sure she probably was too. Um, don't know if that had been done before. That's why I like the video to capture history. She had a powerful testimony. So if you get a chance, go over to my social media pages and see the event from today. Flip the script, Senior Awareness Day, and that testimony will help a lot of folk. So check it out when you can. Powerful message, very inspiring. You never know what people have been through, but when you learn and see a person talk about it in real time, makes all the difference. Um, all right, well, I'm gonna shut it down, y'all. This has been Late Night Live, the DCN Smoke. Um, Probably be back tomorrow. So y'all have a good night, a good morning,